Oh boy. Um, Welcome to another episode of Late AF. I started a little bit late, just like the name. Um, and I have a special episode today. I think it looks like every Monday I'm going to be doing something that has like a movie related to it. Today's episode is very, very, very personal to me. So let's go ahead and start joining in because um, this is the type of stuff that I haven't repeated to people outside of 2MW and um, really, really kind of affected me for the past few years. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I could adjust my camera a bit. Just want to give myself some face room. Right. So, um, the episode was really inspired by a Amazon series called Swarm that was created by um, uh, Donald Glover and his I don't know if it's writing partner or what, called Swarm. And Swarm is about a person, a fan of an R&B singer that becomes so obsessed with that singer that she does things that will that are dark, really. Dark meaning on the murderous end, for those of you who haven't seen the show, and the lengths at which she goes to defend her fan, sorry, her celebrity crush, we'll call it, is it looks like it's considered utterly ridiculous, but it's not really. And I wanted to make the parallel of this show to sports because we get in very heated arguments. Well, let's not call them arguments. Heated conversations on a daily basis about our favorite players, and sometimes it goes a little bit too far. And this show, what we're gonna cover that. I know that this is not fun, but it's something that I feel like I needed to get off of my chest for the time being. So we're gonna get to that soon. Let me just tag a few people and we will begin. All right, a couple more minutes, um, and we will start. Just let me tag a few members. Okay, so I'll start. So Swarm is amazing because it really looks at fandom from a psychological level. And it's necessary to do that because we think that we aren't, or some of us think that we aren't over the top when it comes to fandom. And really and truly, sometimes we toe the line between something that's not healthy and um, unless we're checked, we're never gonna really we're never really gonna catch ourselves going a bit too far. In this piece, the actor, the main character Dre, played by Dominique Fishback, amazing role, amazing job playing this role. Uh, from a very young age, or her younger age, she was really taken aback by her favorite R&B artist by the name of Naja, and she and her best friend, who she calls really her sister, go on this early path of, you know, going to the concerts, finding out wherever she's performing, joining an online community, just like we are. We're in an online community, and end up, becoming part of the swarm. Now the movie parallels, uh, obviously, but not. They never really say it. The movie parallels the Beyonce group, the Hive, the Beehive, or the Bayhive, and how their fans are so taken by Beyonce that they will do almost anything. And um, she is taken by Naja, and she is on this real hunt to meet her and be by her and embody her. And she's on this, she meaning Dre or Dominique Fishback of Swarm, goes almost from state to state, and you'd think it's just to catch up with her favorite artist, Naja, but it's also to track down any of the haters online that said something bad about her favorite artist. So a person may have said something on Twitter, a random person on Twitter may have said something about the artist, and she will drive and find them. And um, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this before seeing it, she kills them. And I started, when I was watching the piece, I noticed that a lot of things that people used to say about myself when it came to Russell Westbrook. I've only met Russell Westbrook once, and that was because he was in New York. I have been to Oklahoma when he was on OKC, but that was more of like an OKC fandom. Didn't go try to get behind the scenes. I don't message him on Instagram. I don't message him on IG. But I will say that he is my favorite player, and online I do defend him a whole lot, um, because I feel like I defend Russell Westbrook a lot because of um, to me he really represents the person that wasn't supposed to make it, right? He didn't have that many, or he had maybe one offer to go to college, and that offer was given to him because somebody dropped out, and he ended up becoming a NBA player, and ultimately joining the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they get to the finals very early in his career. And to me, that's the climb that everybody wants and everybody dreams of. But for some reason, when someone meets a lot of success and other people don't like it, I feel, and this may not be the case, but this is how strong fandom is. I feel that people personally attack him out of some sort of jealousy. And I'll admit that there's this blanket throw over of this belief, and it may or may not be true, but it really stays to that level. In Swarm, the Dre, she takes it beyond the actual forum and finds the people that are online through research, through the swarm. They find out where the person lives, and she literally tries to approach them at their place, and kill them for the comment that they made against her favorite celebrity. Trisha will never do that. Trisha never does that. I just want to make sure we preserve the. I just want to make sure we always keep rooting on the person that wasn't supposed to make it, that isn't really doing bad things in the community or isn't really a terrible role model, and not just hating them and kicking them and taking them down just for the strength of, hey, they have a flaw, because everyone has a flaw. And I don't think it gives a good message to children. That is the reason why I back Russell Westbrook without hesitation. Legit, I think he's a good role model for kids, because kids are always trying fighting to overcome, and he did that from the beginning of his career. Never been in trouble. He dresses how he feels, and is secure in that. And we often ask children later on in their life, well, how come you just didn't stand up to that person, or how come you just didn't wear whatever you want and not care? Meanwhile, there's almost millions of people that hate Russell Westbrook because he dresses the way he dresses. So we're sending conflicting messages to kids, and I want to um, squash that. So that's the reason why. But let's now look at Swarm in parallel to fandom and my experiences from the other side, right? I have just admitted my flaw of liking Russell Westbrook. I debate hard for him, but that's where it stays. But when it comes to the fandom from the other side that I've encountered, I think it's gone at beyond, and I don't ever think it could come back. So earlier in the day, I actually posted something that was personal, that happened to me in this group, and that was the debate. I had a debate with someone regarding LeBron James, and let me first tell you this: as a person, a woman debating on the wall with mostly males, I know that there are unwritten rules, and the unwritten rule is you stick to sports. I don't have any other. I can't do personal attacks, because I believe that, you know, guys might take that personally a little quicker, because in general, I believe that they believe that sports is a male thing, and so I'm in their space, in their realm. And listen, I don't know if you care about that part, but I'm gonna respect it, and I kind of stick to to the sport. I'm not here to debate anything beyond that, and I'm not here to take it personal. So this debate goes on between me and this person about LeBron. We're sticking to LeBron, and he gets so upset that he says something, something, something about LeBron. Then the next sentence is, and that's why you'll never have children. And I was like, hold on, sir. Why would you ever, ever, ever say that to anyone? I can't really give this person grace, because they do have children. They have daughters. Um, and I thought that it was terrible to say. But, and I'm tagging people randomly, but the message on the wall is that if you tag people to see what other people say, you're quote unquote running for help. So when he said, hey, whatever you said with LeBron, sentence, hey, and that's why you'll never ever have children, I said, hold on, let me tag people. Now, when you step into a conversation like that, you don't really know what to do if somebody randomly tags you in a conversation like that. But I wanted to be sure that, this is what I really read and this is what he said and this is how where he took it. And to me, although I didn't do anything that was physical towards this person, mentally I was repulsed, but I kept it to myself. But I never forgot. And what I've seen is that person he's able to like chat with other people, be on other people's groups, things like that. Doesn't really phase them. But I think that's fandom beyond what's acceptable. The second incident that I noted in the group was also, I would believe it's life changing. So I forget the year, but it was when Donald Sterling, that whole controversy was going on, and everyone was up in arms about the situation because anytime there's a topic about like racial tension, there's always some sort of deep conversation and some strong conversation at that. And um yeah, I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was at work. I had a bunch of meetings that day, so I wasn't really on the wall as usual. And guys, I was on the wall. I was on the wall nonstop because I was growing my baby, right? I was growing 2MW and I had to be there. But for that particular day, I couldn't be there because I had so many meetings. And you got to do your job, get paid to still do this sports stuff. And I I was away from my desk for a number of hours, and I get back to my desk, and when I get back to my desk, it looked like a war zone. There were so many people angry, yelling at this one particular member of the group, right? So I'm like, what happened? I read through the comments, right? It was terrible. There were racial things said back and forth. At some point, there was one person in particular saying, haha, I found you, I found you, I found you. Meaning he was like looking people up over a Donald Sterling debate, looking people up. I found you. I know where you're hiding. I have great admins, so the admins kicked them out. But then I'm at dinner with a couple admins. I check my messages, and the person went off on me, and I really wasn't present for any of it. But it's my group, right? And he, without outlining every line, he basically threatened my life. Now, normally I get people that say, "Oh, yeah, you just ignore that person." But I was like, "Yo, this shit got real. Like, I'm here making a group for fun. This is entertainment. But this person is willing to do time, at least verbally, do time, because he disagreed with somebody else. And I became the target because it was my group. Again, he was willing to physically harm me for a debate, a sports debate with, I know it was borderline with racial because it was Donald Sterling, but he's willing to do time because he's mad at what somebody else said on the wall. I still didn't read, like, I didn't even get through all the comments. He was kicked out the group, and I was like, cool. You know, the admins, they had discernment, they made the right choice. But I ultimately got these messages, and I was like, yo, this is berserk. But I'm scared. So what happens after that? I'll just go through it quickly. I don't I stepped down silently as the admin of the group because I felt I was a target. I stopped being the admin of my own group, and because that, I almost stopped the growth. And until watching this film, I didn't realize what I was doing and what I was in the midst of. Is this crazed like fandom where people will say whatever they want to say about people on one side, and then the way people react is so visceral that this is something that I thought I started for fun, and now I could have started it and it harmed me. I just couldn't, and I still can't really understand why it would even come to that point. But that's the kind of world we in. And I don't know if it's social media. I don't know what it is. Okay, it's part social media. Let me stop saying that. I don't know what it is. Part social media, because social media definitely plays to the algorithm, makes sure that you on top of all the hot ish, right? So that in itself kind of instigates a lot, or because in the name of keeping you on top of the things you like, it also might be keeping you on top of the things you don't like based off of what you said. But then also, I do believe that there is some pull, some kind of connection, that we grow mentally. We believe that we're connected to some of these some of these basketball players and celebrities, and so we almost think of them as like a family member, like our own people, and so we'll go through the lengths of protecting their honor, whether it's a verbal real rough verbal disagreement, and yelling and arguing, not debate, or in this case, like Swarm, it ended up into a physical thing where she physically went to that person, just like the guy threatened to come to me. And yeah, one of the questions she asked is, who's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite artist? And depending on the answer, their fate was determined. Now I'm wild. Sometimes I do that. Like the only time I really did like talk about a relationship that is determined on people's preference of a player, NBA player. Like, yeah, for real. Honestly, in dating, sometimes I'm like, yo, if you like Kevin Durant, or if you're a fan of a certain player, we just not compatible. That's too far. Even so, that even saying that's too far for me. It makes me laugh that I hold such pettiness even to relationship building, but like, yo, I'll still I think that's kind of harmless. But people are really physically out here to harm other people. And we've gone too far. Now, I'll say this: 2MW put in a lot of procedures in place to make sure that things like that don't happen. All right, and this is to 2MW, the Facebook group. We don't have 2MW community on YouTube yet, but if you guys want to, we will. So that's why we are an invite only. So you can't freely join the group. Sometimes we really ask the people that it's your profile says that you have friends with. We ask if they really know you, and then we also have you like the page. Almost overkill on the amount of steps you need to take in order to join the group, and I rather do that and be safe than just throw the barn doors open and let anybody in. So yeah, that's why we're here today. And the funny thing happened to me, or funny things people were saying in the year, and so after, and more after that incident. Anytime I got into a heated debate with somebody, I would go into their messages and say, hey, it's just an argument. I I didn't mean to offend you in any way if you're offended. And they thought I was nuts. And the reason why they thought I was nuts was because they're like, who goes into people's messages to apologize? You must be crazy. And I'm like, nah, I'm not crazy. I'm just actually being courteous to your feelings. But, it was a trauma. This Nowadays I'm over it. As you see, I'm now admin of the group again. I'm doing podcasts again. I'm not hiding in plain sight anymore. And but that took years. Years. So I don't know why. I'm not fishing for any I'm not fishing for anybody to feel sorry for me. I'm not fishing for any hugs or anything like that. I just want you guys to be careful and to recognize the limits. If you feel yourself depending on another player for happiness, or using another player's posture and movements as inspiration, but you aren't able to grow your own brand and grow your own representation of yourself, you're on a dangerous path. And you may not know that you're on this path. So I'm begging the friends that are around you to be able to pull you to a side and show you how great you were, how awesome you were, that you don't need to embody somebody else, and you can spend time with them instead of spend time like nonstop fighting for whichever, insert a player here, LeBron, Westbrook, Steph Curry, whatever. Friends need to keep an eye on their friends in order to for fandom not to get this far. Um, yeah. So I want to end it there. I just wanted to share that. Going forward, I hope that you all go see the show Swarm, and also please be respectful of each other. I'm not saying like hug with every comment, but like be respectful of each other so things don't pop off, and then be respectful of yourself. And don't hero worship some of these players. Take it for what it is. They're entertainment. They're great at what they do, but don't hero worship them, because you may end up on the dark side of fandom, which if you get there, it's going to be very difficult to pull you out of that side. So please, if you find yourself hero worshiping an athlete, if you see your friends hero worshiping, please be a good friend, and pull them aside and tell them how great they are. So yeah, you guys are great. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you to all the ones who have grown to be in my close circle. Uh, this isn't easy. This isn't fun for me all the time, but I hope that I can continue to grow 2MW into an experience where you can love the sport that you love, enjoy the players that that you enjoy, and enjoy each other's company in a respectful manner, and stay healthy mentally, as sports is an escape for us temporarily, but it shouldn't really become the focus of all our being and existence. All right. Thank you, and I will see you Wednesday. Thank you. Bye.